Okay, so for today's videos that we'll be watching, we're going to be looking at a bunch of trailers that someone had made for games if they were reimagined in Unreal Engine 5. And again, the name that is right there is the original creator on YouTube of these videos. That will always be the case. Whenever I do a React video or whatnot, I will have the original creator's name right below the video because they deserve the proper props. But yeah, this very first trailer is a reimagining of the original Dead Space, which came out in 2008, which we totally did not look up on stream just a moment before this because I thought it was crazy by actually thinking that it was in 2008, but whatever, I'm rambling. So without further ado, let's go and jump into the very first reimagined trailer of a game if it were made in Unreal Engine 5. Oh, that certainly looks a lot better than like if you. Right, so if you compare the original Dead Space with this already, you'll see that the gleaming of the metal on the armor is already very impressive in comparison to the original game. Like, not that it didn't have any, but this is so much more smooth. Like, it felt like the textures of the original Dead Space, they were so dominating in regards to how it all looked. Like metals, for example, they were a tint darker, but also a little bit more defined in regards to the rest of the armor. While in this, it already looks nicely mixed in with the rest of the costume. But the physics is, of course, another great thing about Unreal Engine 5 that I'm sure we will enjoy quite a bit more. Although if you were to just look at this, you would immediately think like this is just a straight up remake of the original game. Just updated graphics. Oh, this is what I like so much about the horror, like the atmospheric games, is just like the little like foggy layer that goes over everything. It really sets the whole like dark and grim kind of thing and emphasizes it a little bit more in regards to like how valuable each light source is in a game that is predominantly dark like these. Environment fog, yes, it's the combination of environment fog and of ambient lighting together. It strikes such a really strong and good balance. It is clips from the remake they are doing. Really? Really? But why imagining though? Dead Space remake will come out in January 2023. Oh crap! I did not know that. So this is like a legitimate remake of the game in Unreal Engine 5. Okay. Let me put it this way. I'm mostly I am surprised. I'm surprised by EA's willingness to remake any of the Dead Space games. However, noting how much of a tonal failure Dead Space 3 was in comparison to Dead Space 1 and 2, it counteracts the surprise again. Someone stole the gameplay clips and added music over it. You think that this is those people? Sure looks like it. We don't own the material featured in this video. I have been completely misinformed. Original creator has disappeared. They are gone. Still though, I do like the look of this. Like if it looked, well, I mean, this is already how it looks right now. I can't imagine how it's going to look once it's finished. Well, I mean, I can imagine how it's going to look, but not to the extent of like actually playing it next year. Like that would be really cool. Professional YouTuber. Look, this is the kind of shit that I have to deal with. It's not even week 10. Saw the showcase not too long ago where they showed off the lighting and physics. Well, this is looking tremendous. Like, this is looking absolutely tremendous. Who knows? Maybe I'll get around to playing these. Probably. Oh, wait, hang on. Sexy. I like reflective surfaces in video games. It's only it's just too bad that it's a really tough strain on the PC to do reflections properly, or at least it used to be. Like I'm still from a generation I'm still very much from a generation that had to deal with a lot of potato PCs. And now finally having a PC that's actually able to run a couple of reflections, it's really nice. But that is really cool. It's the neat little things. But again, graphics aren't everything. Like if the gameplay is not that great, then yeah, no. I think I recently heard it where like if people come to the game for the graphics, but they stay for the gameplay. And I'm very much one of those, which is most of the time why I already pay attention to the gameplay before I even look at the graphics of any game. Why do I still feel though like it's really loud? Sorry. Oh man, like fiddling around Dead Space with casting with using stasis on the large ventilation shafts. It's why did it take 15 years to do a remake of Dead Space 1? I tried streaming Dead Space 1 last year, but I immediately encountered a game-breaking bug within 30 minutes of playing the game because one of the doors or one of the elevators got stuck because of I think one of the corpses of one of the. Why do I keep forgetting their names? Xenomorphs? Is it Xenomorphs? No, it can't be Xenomorphs. But yeah, like I could not continue playing the game anymore, so I had to stop playing it. But that's why, like, I'm happy that I'm happy then that they are actually making Dead Space all over again, because I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play the hell out of that again. That animation looks kind of janky, which the fan starting up. Let's have a look again. I mean, I don't immediately spot it. Why you tease with that? I wanted to actually see that. The smoke specifically? You mean like the steam from the the steam that gets released here in regards to what happens here at the top of Isaac's head? Actually, that does remind me a lot of the Skyrim fog that you find all over in the dungeons. you know the type of Skyrim fog that I'm talking about. Yeah, looks pretty neat. Can't wait to see it come out next year then. Early next year even. Why do I still feel though like that is not up to date? Like, why do I like? I think I would have heard a little bit more in regards to a Dead Space remake if it's coming out in less than 3 months from now, right? Less than 4 months from now. Oh well, I guess other games are taking precedent over the Dead Space remake. Sadly. Well, I guess we'll move on to the next video. Imagining the Lord of the Rings game, an Unreal Engine 5 fan concept trailer. Now, to be fair, like the fan concept trailer, it's a see this is like I wish I could find out who the original creators of these trailers would be now, because this feels, I don't know, I feel bad doing this. Again, like, if anyone, by the time that this gets up onto the YouTube, if anyone knows the actual trailers, please put them in the comment section, and I'll put them in the description, because this knowing this now kind of feels off. But a Lord of the Rings game in Unreal Engine 5, oh, too bad that Amazon is going to be the only one that's going to be able to create those now. Bastards. I'm sorry, my Twitch overlords. I know that you are a sister company from, or a daughter company from Amazon now, but you're destroying something that I held precious for quite a lot of my childhood in the Lord of the Rings series, universe, and everything. Peter Jackson almost managed to successfully end the entire Lord of the Rings fandom, and with your recent release of Rings of Power, you aren't helping. So please, 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 stick to what made Lord of the Rings great. Thank you. Now let's go and let's go look at this trailer.
The world is changed.
This looks nice. Like a very nice cathedral, like the rubble of some statues that have been destroyed.
I feel it in the water.
Hey!
I feel it in
That's a familiar sight. At least it's third party destroying it, because I'm never gonna get over. I'm gonna be over Harry Potter. Yeah. Yeah. It's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Bit of a shame. But yeah, it's just one of those waiting periods, unfortunately. Same with Star Wars. I would love for the Star Wars IP to no longer be in Disney's hands or in EA's hands. And I know that it's close to being dropped out of EA's hands, which is wonderful. I can only now hope that Disney fumbles up, immediately plummets in the market, and gets to spread its IPs across multiple different studios. Because by God, I cannot stand the direction that they've gone thus far with Star Wars. I cannot. They made a rather decent attempt with Rogue One, and unfortunately it's all been downhill from that point on, in my opinion. No fighting. Don't send assassins over this. It's just my opinion. And most of the people on the internet. But yeah, I don't know. Like, there's still no, I don't even want to say that. Like, I don't even want to admit that I have a sparkle of hope that Andor is going to be the change that Star Wars needed. Mostly because I've been hearing things in regards to, like, there will be a lot less Easter eggs or familiar characters. It will just be its own thing, which is great. However, everything that has been created thus far that's been on its own thing in any of the Star Wars products has been bollocks across Disney. So, I haven't even watched it because the MCU burned me out, but I'm not surprised to hear you say that. Yeah, the MCU is burning me out as well now. Which again is a sad thing. I feel like I need to eventually have a bit of a longer talk again in regards to the Marvel situation, because I think I can make an entire video purely on that topic. Like have a nice ramble in regards to the current state of Marvel. I won't get into too much detail at the moment. But the long story short, if each of the different superheroes in the MCU had just been given their own genre, their own type of story, I think there would have been a lot more longevity to it than it seems to have right now. Because the immediate drop-off of all of their products at this moment is telling. Anyways, the Shire.
I smell it in the air.
It's Gollum. So, is it just going to be the original? I get a feeling like this game concept trailer probably had in mind to just take the original 3 Lord of the Rings films and make a game of that. Or at least that's the vibe that I'm getting thus far.
Is lost, for none now live.
Which would be, again, a bit of a waste. Good old Mordor. With the Eye of Sauron. Now that looks like Total War Rome. You know the Total Rome War that I'm talking about. The original one with the Barbarian Invasion DLC. The opening cinematic for that is what this gives off to me. Of course, this is Helm's Deep, because this has the thing over there where they go up and battering ram that door up there. Yeah, but right, back to what I wanted to say in regards to why it would be a bit of a waste if you make a Lord of the Rings game and stick to the story that was told in the movies. It's the same thing why we have people that love the Shadow of War and the Shadow of Mordor game so much, is that it puts forth an original story. It gives you different and new characters with a few sprinkles of characters that you are familiar with, like Sauron and like Gollum and like what was the spider lady again? Yeah, I've forgotten her name. But yeah, it's just like being able to tell an original story, I feel is a lot more attractive these days than it is to rehash a story that has already been told, purely because there's nothing new to discover in there. It might be fun to experience it in your own way, but the surprises that you would get with creating something new is definitely a lot more alluring. Same thing with films. Again, like they need to stop rehashing old stories and make something new. Just make something new. I know that this has been an opinion that I've been saying the past 2 days at least once. I know that we have a bunch of industries right now, like the film industry and like the gaming industry, that they have probably been blown. They've probably grown to the point where it's filled with people that know exactly what they need to do in order to be the most lucrative. We no longer have any daring experiments that are being put on the foreground, and the gaming industry being what it was to what it is now is definitely a part of that, and the film industry is pretty much the same thing. How superhero films were in regards to what superhero films are now. Same thing with Star Wars, how Star Wars was then and how Star Wars is now. It's all come to the point where they are so big that they feel like they would be missing out on so much if they did not stick to the same patterns over and over again that has been giving them all that much money. And through doing so, they are losing the audience that they had originally created purely because they were there when it all was original. Now everyone just gets to see the same stuff, and it's no longer original, and that is what is off-putting. I'm gonna need more water. I'll get some more water after this trailer. Right, back to the Rome orcs. Oh. It's again, I know it's just graphics, but it looks so nice. The gleam on their like gold tinted armor. Actually, this shot feels very Vermintide 2 to me. Or just Vermintide in general, I guess. Just walking through the streets, slashing down Skaven left and right. It's great. I always like the visuals of being inside of a hamlet. It's why I like Kingdom Come Deliverance so much. It's just like the scale of how it would feel to be in the middle of one of these hamlets is tremendous. It's why people go to Germany sometimes and visit those cities that are built inside of like a lock or like a keep. It's just to see the large medieval structures that are still stood around them. Okay, and then again, like that looked a little bit questionable. Ah, Rivendell, with your nice waterfalls. I would like to say though, if Lord of the Rings Online got a massive graphical overhaul, gameplay overhaul, basically almost became an entirely new game, I think I would get addicted to that real quickly. Really quickly. Like the Lord of the Rings universe, lore, setting, whatever you want to call it, it's so rich of things that you could do with it, with all the different races and all the different stories that we already know that have been told or at least referenced in either the books, in the films, in the series. You can do so much with that, and it feels like such a shame that we haven't gotten any proper stories that have been told so coherently nice, like the original Lord of the Rings story, and to some extent, The Hobbit. Like the Hobbit, it has its issues. Okay, it has its issues with the tone sometimes being a little bit, or some character decisions, character actions as well. But still, the red lines, you know, like the through lines in regards to each beat in the story is good. They had a nice basis. Thanks for the share of your company. I'm now a 1 biddy shareholder. Hey! Thank you so much. Oh man. But the Lord of the Rings, I feel so passionate about it because again, the original 3 films make it so high on my list of favorite films, with The Fellowship being the top one, almost entirely just because of the Balrog. So people being frivolous with the IP of Lord of the Rings is just an insult, in my opinion. In my point of view, that just it's like a slap in the face. This does capture my imagining of the Shire this does capture it quite nicely, though. Like, just nice, large stretches of green, with indeed the hobbit holes, the little picket fencing. Just nice. Oh. So good, though. The lands of Rohan. Oh, I've forgotten. This was Tina's Mirith, right? No. Tina's Mirith. It is. Minas Tirith. Yep. Close enough. Yep. Statues. Nice statues. Like, is it... Am I... Like, is it just... Is it a bit of an issue in regards to what I'm already considering, which is like... I would have loved nothing more to be in a timeline right now where we did not have claims on IP. Right? And what I mean by that is, or at least in the gaming industry, and what I mean by that is that any gaming development studio can make any game from an IP. I would love to see how that gaming world would look like, just to see what every studio would pick and what they would be playing into. It's almost like, to an extent where I cannot imagine how that would be like. Because if you think about it, like, imagine if the creators of Uncharted, The Last of Us, Crash Bandicoot, if Naughty Dogs, for example, had control of the Lord of the Rings IP, that would so nice. Or let's see, what's another respectable gaming game company? Yeah, imagine if Obsidian, right, got their hands on Star Wars and did more than just Coder 2. Just imagine. Alright, let's move on to Need for Speed Most Wanted. After I get myself a drink, because I need a drink. Hey, Lena. You want to go and keep us company? Hey? You want to get up on my desk? You want a little snack thing? Come on. Alrighty, everyone. Say hello to Luna. For Luna is going to eat a little snacky while in my armies. Hi. Ooh. Little one. Hmm? Yeah. Oh, trying to run away, eh? Here you go. Yeah, Need for Speed Most Wanted. Definitely one of the two racing games that I played a lot in my youth. This and Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. It's just great games. And the one thing I really liked about Need for Speed Most Wanted was indeed just racing against other people just to earn their car and get a better car. Oh, it's not great. No need to spend money on a new car when I could just win them. To be fair though, like, the Matrix game that they made specifically to premiere the Unreal Engine the Unreal Engine 5 with, I think is a pretty solid show of how Unreal Engine 5 can be used. It's just one of the cases of how to show it, though, and I'm sure that as time will move on and people become a little bit more creative in regards to what they can do with Unreal Engine 5, they're going to be able to make such great projects. I don't think that among the list of videos that we'll be responding to, no, it's not there. I recall about 2 years ago seeing someone had created Riverwood from Skyrim in Unreal Engine 5, which, if I remember by the end of this, we'll go and watch it. We'll go look at that one as well. But yeah, that looks so gorgeous, so gorgeous. Need for Speed Most Wanted 2. This is a terrible logo, though. Should be ashamed of yourself. I hope none of the music that's being used in any of these are copyrighted, copy thing. To be fair though, like this does seem like there are a bunch of artists that work on all of these. Fantastic. Yep. Might actually be the possibility that this entire footage never makes it to YouTube purely because of the things that might actually be in regards to the copyrights and whatnot, but we shall see. We shall see. To be fair though, I don't have an affinity for racing games anymore. I used to, especially with Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition, but I cannot remember the last racing game that I played that I got a lot of joy out of. No, I mean, I've played Euro Truck Simulator 2, but I think aside from any car games, other than that, no, I haven't really been enjoying any. But who knows, maybe a little bit of nostalgia from the Need for Speed series would reinvigorate that. I do remember though that I used to be quite good at the racing games. And when I say quite good, I mean more in like a vacuum once more, because that would just basically be me racing against AI or my older brother or my younger sister. You know? The entire world, basically. Ah, yes. Memes. We love memes. It's a nice shade of blue, though. It's an ugly shade of green, though. I do like the bronze rims. Bronze rims actually look quite nice on a car. Don't see it that often. But by the way, I have no right at all to talk about cars because my favorite car is a car that no one will ever guess, so I might as well just say it. My favorite car is Peugeot 207. Yeah, I know. Real rich man's car. There's a Ferrari, there's a Lamborghini, and there's a cop car. Although I think by the time that the cops are getting funded to the point where they can afford those types of cars, the world will probably be in a good place financially. I never liked a very big spoiler. I was also always a fan of the smaller spoilers on a car. Alright, Need for Speed Most 1 and 2. Let's move on to imagining the Elder Scrolls 6. Which is another fan concept trailer. Again, not the official one, just how Skyrim, a new Skyrim would look in Unreal Engine 5, as the title says. Unfortunately, again, no. We don't know who the original creator is. It's not like this person just re-uploads those entire videos and then just goes like, "Hey, so if this is yours, let us know." Instead of, crediting the original creator, which is what I would have done. And which is what I shall do, because every bit that I find in regards to any of the original creators of these fan concept trailers, I'm going to put them here in the description, because that's where they belong. To be fair though, there's no chance that Elder Scrolls 6 is ever going to be made in the Unreal Engine 5. Mostly because, as everyone who has played any Bethesda game knows, they are way too proud of their own broken, buggy mess of an engine. So much to the effect that a lot of people are actually dependent on mods to have their games run smoothly or with enough fun to the point where they actually prefer playing it. So there's no way in hell that Bethesda is going to make a game in Unreal Engine 5. Which is why fans gotta do it. Which is why the modding community has got to do it. Because they won't. What is this, Diablo? By the way, I am excited for an Elder Scrolls 6. The only problem is that I get the feeling that it's probably going to come out a broken mess. So I hope that they're taking their time when creating it. They probably still don't have a release date set for Elder Scrolls 6. But it's a good decision for Bethesda to stay on their own engine. Well, maybe I'll have to go and look for that one. If you've got a link for it, please send it to me, because that is definitely something that I would like to investigate a little bit more. What was I going to do? Right, I wanted to see if there's a release window. Any kind of estimation in regards to when Elder Scrolls 6 is estimated. Elder Scrolls 6 release date. Still in pre-production, won't be released until 2026 at the earliest. So we still have another 4 years probably to wait for all that. Thank you.
Every now and again.
Wait, are you? Before I ask, do you still go by the original name of Tarmo, or do you want me to call you something differently? Because I have been dodging around that quite a little bit. I'm sorry. Not a purpose, well, I guess semi-purposefully, but no official changes yet. All right. Then I will call you Cat to keep it nice and neutral, if you're all right with that. But again, like, I'm always happy to see you hop back into these chats. I got email. I got email. Yeah, I added it to the playlist, so we'll get around to watching that after all this, if we haven't gotten to the age of 38 by that time, due to the tempo that we've shown so far, because we've barely seen 3 videos. Have we already been told what region Elder Scrolls 6 is supposed to take place in? I know that a lot of people want to see Elder Scrolls 6 take place elsewhere. Elder Scrolls 6 region. Maybe knows anyone? Will take place on the continent of Tamriel. Thank you. That specifies it so much. But I mean, like this fan concept trailer thinks, alright, we gotta go and put in an Oblivion gateway. Yeah. Because we're never done with Oblivion. Oblivion needs to come back at all times. Show me those Daedric portals. I feel like these shots. Oh, this is definitely like this feels. I've either seen this in Dying Light 2 or The Last of Us, and I feel like this was the demo of how the daylight shifts in Unreal Engine 5. Ooh, that is a gorgeous shot. These are the types of locations I would love to maybe visit one day in person, if it is safe, for convenience sake. Because I know that a bunch of people that want to go and have a look at it from this perspective, yeah, they'll need to climb down a rope in order to either get here. They need to rappel, or they come in from down below through diving in a cave system. And neither of those two I have experience with. So I'm afraid of both of those. But still though, like, this is gorgeous though. Like the slightly calcitation, or whatever that scientific effect is called again. Calcification? Maybe. Dorgan! Big old fake Dorgan, which looks straight out of Game of Thrones. Nice coastline with some rocky rocks, some torches. Ooh, hang on. This seems pretty cool though. But I'm not so sure if I like the statue of the Chamber of Secrets as a gateway. I'm fairly sure if you showed this shot to 80%, no, you know what, 95% of people, that short things easy. If you showed this to anyone and asked them the question if this is real or if this is fake, I'm fairly sure that you would fool a whole lot of people into thinking that this is real. Because this is an amazing shot. Like how all the textures look as well. Like maybe the trees look a little bit spriggly, but again, like you got plenty of trees that look like that. But oof. Again, like this is another view that I would love to see in person. Doesn't really only apply to Bethesda, it kind of debunks the why not Unreal Engine comment. Alright. Well, that does sound like an amazing way of finishing this spree of videos. Just to hear why someone would not use Unreal Engine 5. Or just any Unreal Engine then. Hey, it's Shanghai from the At World's End. I'm fairly sure I've seen this shot used for one of the D&D books. Nice farmlands. Also, did a texture load in there? Yeah, it did. If you look at the trees in the back there, like here, if you look at the trees, if you look at the tree line right past the windmill, you're gonna see a bunch of trees pop in due to view distance. It's a neat little detail. Now this is Resident Evil Village. Looks pretty awesome though. But yeah, again, it's another one of those visuals that I feel like you would have seen in Senua Hellblade, or in Resident Evil Village. What other game did I have in mind when I saw this? No, I think mostly just those two. Yeah, pretty great reimagining. Pretty great. Let's have a look at a fan concept trailer for an Alien game, which is quite fitting considering that I still need to continue playing Alien Isolation. No worries, I still have the footage on my PC, and it's a constant reminder of me that I still need to play that. How long is the queue? Okay, so let me do a quick rundown in regards to what we still need to watch. We've only seen 4, keep that in mind. We've only seen 4. We've got Alien, and then after that we've got Dark Souls 4, then we've got Half-Life 3, then we've got how Halo would look in Unreal Engine 5, then we've got Fallout 5, then we've got Mass Effect 4, we've got a Bioshock remake, we've got the Red Dead Redemption remake, so that's already double what we've seen thus far. And then we've got the why does Bethesda not use Unreal Engine? But you are right. I think like this would be the right time to go watch that video now, just like an in-between, because we don't have any other Bethesda games coming up. Maybe Fallout 5? Yeah, let's change the order a little bit. We'll go and watch Fallout 5's now. Then we'll see the why Bethesda's not using the why Bethesda should not use the Unreal Engine, and then we'll move on with the other games. So Fallout 5. Now, I love me some Fallout 5. Fallout in general, not Fallout 5. The game isn't even out yet. No, I like post-apocalyptic games purely because of, again, it's a very good narrative tool. You can tell a lot of stories in regarding to how the world would be like after whatever catastrophe has occurred on the planet. They made a wise decision in turning bottle caps into a currency. I don't know what the use of bottle caps are, other than what we know in some of the Fallout games, which is that it can be used for ammo or as shrapnel for bombs. Great currency. But I love Fallout because of everything that they can do with that and what they've done so far. Hell, I'll even say it that I liked a few bits of gameplay from Fallout 4. I liked a lot of the companions from Fallout 4, and I personally liked the colony system a lot. Right, like the creation of buildings and all of that. I fiddled around with that a whole lot, which is why when Fallout 76 came out, I enjoyed that game quite a lot as well, even on its buggy release. I would not have recommended it to anyone other than myself, because again, I did not know anyone that had the same kind of game taste as I do back then. So I played Fallout 76 on my own, and because of that, all the struggles that were in that game, I had to undergo on my own as well, and I didn't have to relay that to anyone. And because of that, I took it in isolation, and I just looked at it like, yeah, alright, this game's got its flaws, but whatever, I can still play it. But Yeah, it's a like again. We already seen from the Internet Historian. We've already seen very serious business from them. The fall of '76 is another. The fall of Vault 76. It's another great video. I would have loved to have watched it on stream with everyone, had I not already seen it like 4 or 5 times within a month, purely because of how great that video is. So I can't give any unique. I can't give a unique perspective to it anymore, other than pausing the video and then go on an entire rattle, knowing what is going to happen in the rest of the video. Like it would just not be a good thing for me to do. But yeah, even Fallout 76, despite its flaws, I still liked the game, and I probably would be playing Fallout 76 any of these days had I had the people to play it with, which I don't. But I'd be up for a Fallout 5, definitely. Let's see what a Fallout 5 would look like in Unreal Engine 5. So many fives. High fives for everyone. I might just already like turn down the volume because I know that these love using non-copywritten or copywritten music. I mean, that looks pretty nice. This is definitely cutscene footage. Like, this is not in-game engine, but also fairly nice visuals. Wait, that was a Brotherhood? No, it was I didn't mean a Brotherhood. Enclave. Huh. You know, a nice destroyed plane which someone built a base out of, which is definitely the Fallout 4 base building. Man, it already makes me want to play the Fallout games again. Kind of Red Rocket. I mean, I'll say it right here. This probably is like a heavily inspired from a visual already. I haven't played Anchorage, but I feel like I've seen some screenshots of the Anchorage DLC from Fallout 3 that had a similar location to this. But this looks really, again, just graphics, but it looks really nice. Now that is, I mean, I know that okay, so I have my suspicions that all of these Unreal Engine 5 fan concept trailers, they will use some footage from the other games and then splice it in with tiny bits that they've recreated in the Unreal Engine 5. Because this fog right here, this is straight up the fog from Fallout 4 and 76. Like, there's no going about it. They just completely either took the textures from that, or this is actually done in Fallout 4/76. Hmm. I mean, this is a nice, like, kind of setting. It looks to be like some kind of base that's built into mountains. Probably some kind of miners' colony. Uh, it's the same with like the quarries from the other Fallout games. You can look at all the wires and the steel pipes that are going about. Now, these are the kinds of visuals I would have loved to have seen a little bit more in the Fallout games. Just like completely dried up or semi-dried up bits of coastal. This again, I believe that this was another one of those things that in Anchorage you would have probably seen a lot of. Give me some Call of Cthulhu vibes though. Yeah, you can't fool me with this one. You can't fool me with this one. This is straight up the hunt. This is straight up from the hunt. Like, this is the hunt. Hunt Showdown. This was not recreated by someone. This is from a Hunt Showdown. Like, this is not good. Not good at all. This is terrible. Stop showing me Hunt Showdown. Ooh. Now this is pod racing. Okay. Okay. This does feel a little bit more though like yeah, this definitely feels a lot more like if a visual which would fit more in a Fallout 5, considering that a bit more time would have come since the apocalypse. So they might have actually started rebuilding just a slight bit in regards to buildings. Because that's the bigger part of the later Fallout, well, I guess Fallout 5, Fallout 4 and 3 and 76. Like, no buildings were being rebuilt. It was all just dilapidated buildings that they sheltered inside of. No new buildings. This feels a little bit more like a newer building because the brand new rails and everything. Oh, Pip-Boy. New Pip-Boy. Mm-hmm. Wait, plants and water and Fallout? Heresy. Alright, let's hop into why does Bethesda not use Unreal Engine, which is made by the Cantina. So, the Cantina. The original creator. The Cantina. So, the question. Why does Bethesda not use Unreal Engine?
Every now and again, we'll get this demo reel dropping on YouTube that showcases what if X old video game was remade in the Unreal Engine.
Wow, it's almost like that's the entire topic of the videos that we've been watching. Excellent find, Cat.
Ocarina of Time, The Witcher 3, and of course, Skyrim. And I'm sure while watching these videos, you probably asked yourself, well, if the Unreal Engine can make video games look so good, then how come Bethesda doesn't use it?
Well, it's a simple case that there has to be a reason why. It can't be just simply because money. Can it?
Well, as it turns out, they have some pretty good reasons for using their own. So today, we're going to take a quick look at why Bethesda doesn't use Unreal Engine. Now, before we can really get into this topic, we need to take a look at why Unreal Engine is so good for game developers. And there are a few pretty big points here. For one, there's a lot there that's already built by the Unreal Engine, and it makes creating your new world significantly easier.
Yeah, because everything that I've seen from the Unreal Engine thus far is it's very user-friendly in regards to all of the assets that are already there, like pre-made, that you can easily grab and put into. All of the different tools that they have made are also already in there, and it's the Lumen system and the new daylight functionality of the Unreal Engine makes it so much nicer in regards to no longer needing to make light sources from scratch. Like, those are already made. So that saves a lot of time in regards to needing to make shadows, needed to make all that ray tracing.
Foliage systems, lighting, atmospheric fog, even a physics engine, and a very versatile rigging system. And, of course, the blueprint system, which can help fast-track some of the more tedious bits of programming. These are all things that...
That's actually, like... this is the part where you lose me. Nah, I fully get, like, I understand the system in regards to that. You want to trace a line to have functions attached from one another or even trigger another event. It's just the maintaining of this code that would be an incredible nightmare for me. Purely because I feel like I would be, like, my decisiveness is terrible. Also, I see things like this, like lines going through lines, or this, which is a line going back to go into there. Yeah, I would just move this up. I would have a very horizontal timeline, a horizontal situation if I were to make a graph like this. And it would just look like a very long stretch of field. When VR Chat started using newer Unity and they wanted to use that type of animating stuff, I stopped editing avatars. Yeah, I mean, but is that like this is post Blender then, right? Because I have made one or two avatars in VR Chat in Blender, and recently, before the current situation of VR Chat and everything, I also used to I wanted to put in create a new avatar and put that into VR Chat, but was unsuccessful because they changed it, and thus I gave up. Which was a lucky accident apparently, because now look where VR Chat is. Ooh. Losing some very loyal users. And then going to Unity and do very basic stuff and done, but more interesting stuff is done with that type of blueprint things. Maybe, what's it called again? Oh no, wait, yeah, that's no longer doing all that well either. Neos. Like, maybe I will have to do like an entire video in regards to VR, the VR community, for social games as well. I don't want to go do Brandon FM documentaries, because again, I've already seen those myself, and those are really long ones. So if I were to do a reaction in the pause, talk, continue model that I'm using for these, I will definitely need to take 24 hours just to do one of Brandon FM's videos. VR chat modding community went to chill out VR, and that is where I'm hopping off to as well if I get back to doing VR. Because again, like, I have my own little thingy now. I have a reason to play VR games now. Like VR chat and like what other VR games are there? I mean, I've been playing VTOL VR as well. But yeah, I tried out Chill Out VR, which definitely felt a lot more homey in comparison to the alternatives to VR chat. And Neo's having some issues now. What was the other VR chat platform? I can't remember it anymore. It was just VR chat, Chill Out VR, and Neo's. There was a fourth, but I can't remember it. And then, of course, the metaverse, but we all know how that one's going to go.
Of course, the blueprint system, which can help fast track some of the more tedious bits of programming. These are all things that can save a developer a ton of time and help them get right into making the game they want to make. Additionally, Unreal Engine has the benefit of constantly being improved and upgraded, and if there's a problem, you know, eventually the developers are going to be able to get around to fixing it and making it work the way it's supposed to. But as good as that sounds,
aren't Epic just like the good guys of gaming? I like Epic. I like Epic Games. I like those fuckers. I especially liked them when they were still in charge of making the God of War games. Gears of War games. Remember that? Remember the original Gears of War games? I remember the original Gears of War games. I remember playing them on Xbox. It was great.
It's actually a double-edged sword. After all, the more a game engine gets updated, the more it can break
Good
the
old blue
games
screening.
you're working on. Which means once you do start making the game and writing all the code, you really can't do any updates at all. Fortunately, the Unreal Engine developers do try their best to minimize this being a problem, but it's still something you have to be aware of. And if you've been making a game on Unreal Engine 4 and you're like, damn, I really like the new features on Unreal Engine 5, you're probably gonna have some major problems trying to shift over to the new one. But even minor updates still have the possibility of breaking functionality on something that you probably thought was totally finished and now is totally broken. But
So, is it the instability of using Unreal Engine that might be one of the reasons why Bethesda would not use it? Because if we're talking about unstable engines, look no further.
perhaps a bigger issue would be the fact that since this is being developed by a third party, if you happen to run into a problem that Unreal Engine just isn't able to handle, there's not really a whole lot you can do. If you're somebody big like Bethesda, you could probably pressure the devs into focusing on that issue, but you're still entirely dependent on their time frame and whether or not their fix is actually going to be what you're looking for. However, Bethesda doesn't have that problem. Since
I can see the logic, and if you've already got your own engine, why would you take over a different engine? Indeed, just to maintain the independency of having your own engine and thus no longer needing to be reliable on someone else to fix it for you. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see why Bethesda would no longer use Unreal Engine if that were to be the case.
Once they make their own game engine, if there is something that's completely fucked, they can just go in and make just enough of a change to make it work without completely ruining everything they've built. Additionally, Bethesda's creation engine is very streamlined. It's specifically designed to make a Bethesda game, and that's something that it's incredibly good at. Even things like quests are far more simple and easy to build than it would be in Unreal Engine, where it's actually incredibly complicated. And of course, there's the Radiant AI, which I mean, sure isn't utilized as well in Skyrim or Fallout, but it's still a program that does not exist anywhere else. And this really showcases what Bethesda considers important when it comes to their games: the graphical fidelity and epic lighting and good rigging animations.
Yeah, no, the rigging animations are goddamn awful in any Bethesda game, and they will stay awful in any Bethesda game. It's why I'm fascinated when you have Skyrim VR and someone created the Plank mod for it, which allows you to completely interact with the rigging of a Bethesda character. It's a thing of wonder. It's a thing of beauty.
It's all just not nearly as necessary for them. However, there's one really, really big factor that as the players is probably the most important to us, and is something that we would lose if they did try to switch to like Unreal Engine or Unity or whatever, and that is the modding. If it would
Yes. Is it really that tough though to create mods in Unreal Engine? Like, maybe it is though. Because they already told us that the making the quests in Bethesda's engine is apparently really easy to do. So swapping that over to the Unreal Engine would be quite the task. It definitely wouldn't allow to have as easy to make mods as we do now. Like, we know that there are some mods that have been made for Unreal Engine 4. But yeah, not as prevalent as any Bethesda engine mod, as any Bethesda game has had due to their engine. Yeah, I guess. But that somehow also lends more. That also somehow lends more leniency towards Bethesda allowing to have problems in their engine. Purely because of their knowledge of like, well, hey, if we got a problem, like the modding community is going to be able to fix it. We don't, it's not necessarily us that needs to do something about that. Hello, Harrow Prime, welcome. How are you doing? Never played any of the Gears of War? Well, all I'm gonna say, maybe slightly missing out. I mean, who would not enjoy a cover shooter game with a bunch of buff dudes, with later on a bunch of buff ladies as well, in a rather interesting yet gritty setting, with a storyline completely revolving bromances. I love Gears of War. I really love Gears of War.
If it wasn't for Bethesda having their own engine that they can share with us and is so mod friendly, we wouldn't have all these.
It is definitely one of those things which I love so much about Bethesda, is that you can indeed just look at the entire list of mods that have been created for them and get completely surprised by what new mod has come out. Because I never have seen a speeder bike from Star Wars in Skyrim. This is just hilarious to me. And it looks so janky, but you know what? Whatever you want.
Amazing mods that we do, and massive projects like Sky Oblivion and Enderall just would not exist. And it's for that very reason why having their own game engine just makes the most sense. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time in another video. Oh, and also follow me on Twitter. I guess you don't really have to. There's a link in the description.
I mean, I might just follow you on Twitter after this, but then again, like, you said no, so I mean, maybe you've put me between a rock and a hard place, okay?
Every now and again.
All right, well, let me just quickly go and grab that Twitter, and then I'll get back to that later. Yeah, I'll get back to that later. Graphics do not depend on the engine. The graphics can be exactly the same no matter the engine. That is maybe that's exactly why he didn't mention it. Is because there's no change between engines from engines, so it's not mention worthy. I don't know, but it does indeed clarify it a lot more in regards to why Bethesda would not have their entire games made in Unreal Engine. Reasons like being dependent on their own engine, which they can fix whenever, no longer needing to be worried about a modding community that won't be able to do their mods purely because of how difficult the structuring is of Unreal Engine. Like, I can get now why they would stick to their own engine. A lot of people think it matters though. Yeah. But as I said during the stream as well, people need to start to realize that graphics can only get you so far. Like, people come to the game for the graphics and stay for the gameplay. And if you're gonna tell me that the gameplay improves by having great graphics, I don't know, dude. I don't know. What keybind is going to make the graphics better to the point where I enjoy my gameplay more? Tell me about that. And that's actually a good balance to have, though. Like, have the graphics to a par where it's like, yeah, this is acceptable enough. People will look at this and they'll either feel a sense of nostalgia and want to come over and have a look at the game themselves, or the graphics are good enough to the point where they go like, oh, well, you know, I can imagine this. Yeah. I can imagine this being real. And that is already enough for the majority of the people to go like, alright, time to give it a try and see if it is up to snuff in regards to what I expected from this game. Like, I've never looked at a Bethesda game and gone like, oh, this game is pretty. I'm not even sure if with mods I've looked at a game and gone like, oh, this is pretty. I don't know. Maybe Elder Scrolls 6 will be the very first Bethesda game that I will look at the graphics and go like, oh, this is pretty. But who knows? Chances are slim. Any case, we were going to watch the Alien trailer. Alien made in Unreal Engine 5. So I'm guessing that they're going to take the original Alien film and turn that into a video game, and that's what this is a concept trailer for. Well, that looks very reminiscent. I do like though. It's the tinier things, but I like how eligible this font is. I like how easy it is to read all these. It's the little things. Like, how many times have you gone into a game, looked at a keyboard, and it either did not look like a keyboard, the keys were like the keys didn't have any symbols on them, or another case, there just wasn't a keyboard. Like, it's just nice to see an actual eligible keyboard in game. Like that is kind of nice. Special edition came out in 2015-16. Only in the past 1 year, there has been an insanely huge leap in Skyrim combat modding. Yeah. Modders have a learning curve as much as the devs do. True. No, I've seen some of the gameplay mods that have been coming out for Skyrim. Things like implementing the Sekiro dodge roll into Skyrim. I feel like the UIs that follow the characters rather than just having the health bar at the top is also something that has been added recently. Like group fighting in regards to like all the characters attacking one by one. Like actually having a decent block system to the point where it's like you can parry after you've blocked something. It's insane. Like I love seeing the development in regards to all of the mods that are being made for games like Blade and Sorcery and like Skyrim, and it fills me with a nice sense of pride in regards to what consumers can create to match the original intent or design of the game developers. It also fills me with a load of sadness knowing that most of those modders don't even get paid for their mods. They have to suffer through all the messages that are being posted under their mods in regards to, are you going to put out an edition that works for this specific state of the game? Oh, I pirated this game. Can you make a mod that works well with the version of this game that came out like 5 years ago? Oh, could you, like, not enough photos. No, I downloaded this mod. It did work. But did you try out following the installation order that is put in the description? Oh, my bad. I feel for the modding community. I do. The alien spaceship corridors feel so nicely. Like if I play No Man's Sky and I have my freighter, I would love to have the inside of the freighter look so much like the spaceships from the Alien films. This type of style, more specifically, like just large bay doors. I love large bay doors. It's so unnecessary, but it makes you feel so tiny when standing in a hallway. And the freighter hallways in No Man's Sky doesn't do that. Like, sometimes you just feel like you're actually walking down a cramped corridor. It's awful. Pay attention, Hello Games. Maybe. Now I would like to see a xenomorph. Can we see one of them? Can we see a xenomorph? There he is! There he is! That looks pretty alright. Okay, but I do like the like slight opacity that it has to the head, like being able to see the like the skeletal structure underneath this thin layer of what would it be like cartilage. That's really nice. That is really nice. It's Ripley! But pretty alright, Ripley. Create a text on stream? Right, yes. This was not made by the Cantina. The Cantina was the previous video. Thank you, Cat. Well, I say we move on to our next one, which is... Oh no! Ah, get away from me! Right. Next one is Dark Souls 4 imagining in Unreal Engine. Pause. I'm running out of water again. I need to turn on some lights. Hang on. So how would Dark Souls 4 look in Unreal Engine 5? Okay, so no, it's just off camera. So my cat has decided to crawl underneath the sheet that goes over my blankets. So I just see a cat-shaped like dent sticking out of my blanket right now. Adorable. So it is a new idea of Dark Souls, so these shouldn't be recognizable locations. But that is the Dark Souls soundtrack though, so they did not create something new for that. Please, no, actually, hang on, let me comment on this. Please, from software. Never make a bridge that has holes in it that the character has to jump over. If the movement in your games is so janky, if you're going to make a bridge that you need to jump over holes in order to proceed forward over the bridge, people are going to die. Which I know that's your thing, but still. The Dark Souls genre is finished and closed, right? Is it? Are they not making a new Dark Souls game anymore? I'm not sure. I can't give that information. Like I enjoyed Elden Ring, and I know that there's been some unconfirmed leaks in regards to what might be the an Elden Ring DLC. But I don't know if Dark Souls 3 is going to be the final Dark Souls ever. Finish the franchise with DLCs. Well, so be it. I mean, as long as From Software still makes Souls-like games, I'm fine with that. Like, I don't necessarily need the game to be called Dark Souls, or that it needs to be in the setting of Dark Souls. As long as they make games of that game style, I'm fine with that. Like, I would still love to play through Elden Ring. I still have not finished Elden Ring. Mostly because it's, again, one of those cases where I want to play Elden Ring together with someone. Like a full-on co-op playthrough, which is possible thanks to a certain mod that someone has created. So I need to get back to Elden Ring someday. They will probably make Elden Ring like games now and every time, or every time make new concepts for stories. That's good. That's good. It keeps in the originality, and honestly, I prefer the Elden Ring style more than I do the straight up Dark Souls style. Mostly because of the variety of gameplay styles that you have in Elden Ring. Like you were rather limited in regards to being a caster in any of the Dark Souls games. However, Elden Ring definitely just allows you to be a caster in whatever way you want to be a caster. A lot more flexible than it did in the Dark Souls games. So that's the reason why I preferred Elden Ring over any of the Dark Souls games. Which still though, like, oh man. Finishing Dark Souls 3 on stream. Highlight. Now, I guess I have to take back they're not going to use familiar locations in this trailer, because I believe that this is the location where you fight all those bishops. I've forgotten what they were called, but pretty sure that's that location. Like, yeah, it can't be overstated how beautiful things can look in Unreal Engine 5. A lot of shots that indeed look almost photorealistic. But it just like I'm still I'm a fan of dark fantasy at heart. And whenever I see something like this, where it's just like a portal or a gateway or a gigantic stone structure that has an ominous feeling to it, you got me hooked. You got me greatly hooked. Also, Souls players telling me just get good when I tell them the game would be better if iframes were removed or nerfed. In a way that they were not viable for every single thing, and instead having to actually space the enemy and actually dodge. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think though, like there is a part of the outside of the Dark Souls community as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be players of the Dark Souls games. It could just be anyone. Because I was one of those people who, even without playing the Dark Souls games all that much, I did tell some other people to just get good. Purely for the meme. Purely for the meme that everyone knows that you have to say get good if someone struggles with a Dark Souls game. But yeah, I think the stigma in relation to people telling others to get good or get better in a Dark Souls game, it needs to be gone. Also, the purists who feel the need to say in relation to any of the Dark Souls games that you have to play a certain way that isn't the most popular way or the most exploitative way of the game. Like you have a bunch of people that will tell you that you can't play through any of the Dark Souls games using the Uchigatana because the Uchigatana is one of the best weapons in the game. Like, you can't use that. You need to use something else than the Uchigatana. You can't use twin swords. You can't use twin swords. That's cheap. Like, they're great weapons. You can't use those. The Souls community has a section that is full of those types of people that you have to play the game in a certain way, or you can't play the game in a certain way. You'll still hear people talk about, like, you can't do that. Nope. Like, I'm not saying that gatekeeping is necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying that gatekeeping needs to be more selective. It needs to be more selective in the process of where it's like, is it detrimental to you? Yes. Then gatekeep. Is it not detrimental to you? It's just your personal preference. Get out of here. Duh. Right. Dark corridor. Yep, that is a sword and fire. And that's where you fight the Asylum Demon, so yeah, no, definitely familiar locations. Hey, that's someone standing. That's a giant walking. Those are pillars standing. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, this looks like the new Dragonflight area from World of Warcraft. That is beautiful, though. This visual, like this is incredibly beautiful. Like the purple bloom, the somewhere broken, somewhere architectural pillars. I can't remember though if this is like a real location in any of the Dark Souls games. This looks gorgeous. Yeah, nice. Lit a pathway towards probably certain death, knowing a Dark Souls game. I did always, man, like, there's a lot that I can say to the artistic design that the Dark Souls games have. Like whether it be the Gothic architectural style or sometimes the Victorian architectural style, just the entire mix of all the different styles that used to have a lot of like rock structures or marble structures. It's just such a great dark fantasy design. It's no wonder that when people use imagery to reference dark fantasy or a more gothic appeal, they will pull images from any of the Dark Souls games. There was another game franchise though where they would pull reference materials from, but not jumping to mind right now. Dark Souls, whatever. Now we've got to imagine Half-Life 3, which if this does not include the alien world, I'm gonna be a bit disappointed. I'll just throw that out there. Like if they don't use the alien world from Half-Life 1, I don't know what to say. I'm just cleaning out the playlist right now, just so I don't have to do that post. Because I will forget. Knowing me. But yeah, I'm guessing like this is a corridor at Black Mesa. Another corridor at similar location to Black Mesa, because Black Mesa of course got destroyed in Half-Life 1. I do wonder though if we're going to see a head crab in Unreal Engine 5 or the zombie. If we get to see a squid face in Unreal Engine 5, I'm going to be most surprised. Because after Entropy 02 and seeing the squid face creatures again, I would love to see those in an updated model. It is a Black Mesa research facility. Bit cheap. This is nice though. Although this is eerily reminiscent to how some of the locations in the Matrix looked. But again, like, I do like the design on that. No! I will not freeze for your camera! Yeah, this is where I would call bullshit on it being a fan concept trailer about Half-Life 3 when you show me the legitimate entrance to City 18. Or City 8, City 18, City 8, one of those two. From Half-Life 2. But just in like an updated visual. Yeah, no.
Time, Dr. Freeman?
Hi, G-Man. Love your eyebrows. It's about the only thing that I like about you. Yeah, nice tunnels, some kind of underground structure. Yep, there it is, the Citadel, of course. That's from Half-Life Alyx. Okay, no, sorry, I gotta move on. Like, I've seen enough footage and things from other Half-Life games. This one was not all that great. Like, again, a link to the video. Alright, so they do have... No, it's just the music. Okay. Well, the original creator for this one, if you are out there and you see this video, I'm sorry, but you had to come up with a bit more original material, because this is a lot of rehashing from just different things. Not a good one. But hey, Halo in Unreal Engine 5. Like, we can dig that. Although that gun looks sleek as hell. I remember how bulky that assault rifle looked in the original Halo games. It became thinner and thinner. Unlike their player base, which became larger and larger. Nice, we got some Forerunner technology there. So this is on the Halo ring, but this seems like a much smaller Halo ring because of how close the ring appears on the horizon. Like, this should look way more distant in actual Halo, because like this would be barely visible. Like, it would be about as visible as the moon is during daylight. That's how visible the Halo ring would have been if you were on Halo, or at least the original Halo. An impressive pelican, I can give it that. Let me see. Is that one of those? That's one of the beacon towers that you would find. Yeah. Oh, I do have to say though, I do get a bit of a tingle from seeing a graphically updated Warthog. Because like knowing how mushy they were back in Halo Combat Evolved, to seeing it right here with like the little bit of scrapes where the wheels are, and the like slightly deteriorated green tint to it. It's just nice to see than just like the straight up, undamaged, unscathed warthogs. But then, of course, no damage to the interior whatsoever. Okay, no, never mind. There is a little bit of wear and tear on the corners. That steering wheel is, oof. It's Master Chief. Well, of course they are there. Let's have a look at Mass Effect 4, if that was to be created in Unreal Engine 5. Which is, again, it's another EA game that has been on this list, but unlike the other EA game, this is purely a concept trailer. Next Mass Effect is currently being developed in Unreal Engine 5 and we'll probably get to see the return of Shepard in some way. Take a look at the most Unreal footage from Unreal Engine 5 reels and projects and imagine how the upcoming Mass Effect 4 might possibly look like using the new confirmed engine. Disclaimer, we do not own the material featured in this video. So yeah, it's a fun concept trailer if it were to look like Unreal Engine 5, if the Mass Effect game was being made in Unreal Engine 5. Don't know why, I don't know what engine EA used for the original 3 Mass Effect games or for Andromeda. Like, they didn't use the Frostbite engine for those, did they? Or the Frostbite engine for Unreal Engine for Mass Effect Andromeda. Because I think like the Frostbite engine is specifically for first-person shooters. I want to have a look. Game engine Mass Effect. It's a BioWare engine, so... Oh no! Mass Effect 1 was created in Unreal Engine 3. And... Yep, Mass Effect Andromeda was made in Frostbite. And Mass Effect 4 is going to be made in Unreal Engine 5. Okay. Neat. So let's have a look and see if these guys actually made something in Unreal Engine 5 or if it's just cut together footage from all the different things. Alright, rather dry environment. Got some actual detrimental space debris, which we totally do not have surrounding our current planet. None whatsoever. No destroyed satellites, nothing. Nope, no worries. Our space is clean. It's just as clean as our drinking water in the majority of the countries. Oh man, the Mako. Okay, so admittedly, I have not seen enough of Mass Effect Andromeda to know if they would be using footage from Mass Effect Andromeda. That's a bit of the downside. I was, I'm a stout fan of Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. But Mass Effect Andromeda was unplayable when I played it. And I know that some changes have been made, and I know that there are some mods out there that make it better, but I still don't want to hop back onto that game knowing how dreadful that experience was. To be fair though, like, honestly, when it comes to Mass Effect, they could show us a whole lot of footage of just space-like video games. But we don't know anything. Like, it's just like slap on the N7 sticker and it's Mass Effect. Show us a Turian, show us an Elcor, show us dang it, what are they called again? A Solarian. And we'll know that it's Mass Effect. But yeah, you could show us any interdimensional space adventure without any of those, and it could be Mass Effect. Why did those creatures feel like the Demogorgons from Stranger Things? What's a nice lava river, dude? Mass Effect. And that's gonna be, yep, N7. And this is indeed footage from what we know in regards to the new Mass Effect game. Show us just a little bit of a back show from Shepard Commander. Okay, well, I mean, it was a fine one. Let's see if imagining a remake from BioShock can do a lot better. Yep, still no showing off who actually created this original video.
I believe in no god, no.
Although it could just be like these people. Yeah, it could just be like these people just splice footage together from all different things and then claim it as their own. You know, it's something. Would I play a remake of the original BioShock? Well, knowing that they already did a remastered of BioShock 1 and 2, which each of them still had their own fundamental issues in regards to boot up and whatnot, I doubt that they are going to make another remake. I doubt that. They'd have to remake them from the bottom up, and yeah, that's a bit different from just a remastered.
Visible man in the sky. But
That's
there
a
is
remake.
something more powerful than each of us. A combination of our efforts. A great chain of industry that unites us.
I'll just safely again just mute that in case the music is copywritten. Ooh, nice bathroom. Very, very nice. Very sleek. Lots of tiles. I like tiles in a bathroom. That chair looks uncomfortable. Ew. No thanks. I would not want to sit in that chair. Wait. Why does this feel like Code Miko's room? You know, the original room. Look at the whale! Whale! I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not that hard to get down to fully capture the Bioshock feel, and like this does feel like the most legitimate thing that has actually been remade in Unreal Engine 5, like the majority of this footage, because it just looks too nice. Although I did just remember now, of course, that Bioshock Infinite had those DLCs. Which I have not played. So I wouldn't know for sure. Might just be another appeal of trailers like these, where it's just like you can use things from those, knowing that not a lot of people actually did that. So you can get away with it a bit easier. No, but I do. This does genuinely feel like more of a remake, because that is not how physics worked in Infinite. Ah, I remember the camera hacking things from the games. Oh no, I didn't like those. The pipeline system and all of that. Like it might just be because it's not like they were difficult. They were just annoying to do. Especially after having played the Witness, puzzles don't really feel all that unpleasant to do. Speaking of, I uploaded a video yesterday on YouTube, which was me playing the Witness with Makey here in chat. If you want to go check that out, please do, because it's 20 minutes of fun and torture. And yes, those go hand in hand. Got a big brother. Huge turtle. No gods are kings, only man. Yep, that was the saying. All right. Wait, did this guy try shooting it? Oh, that bastard. Don't shoot at the kid. Cat does not deserve that. Yeah, no, I did not like the underwater sections of Bioshock. I did not. I meant like the legit, like I guess the in-water sections. I did not like. Well, that looked nice. Looked really nice. Is it gonna make me want to play Bioshock again? No. No, I don't think it did. Maybe this will make me play Red Dead though. That Red Dead though. It's still rather unfortunate in regards to what happened with Red Dead Online. Like I would love nothing more than to see Red Dead Online actually grow out to be its own game. But we all have already seen what Rockstar is capable of doing, which is ignoring the hell out of Red Dead Online. So I'm not like my hope is gone for that. My hope is gone for Red Dead Online. It's not there. It's no longer there. Don't care for it. It's gone. It's dead. It's over. Shut down the servers. No one's pleased with you anymore. No. But oh man, what I would not do for Red Dead Redemption Remake on PC. Not a port, a remake. I've caught the Western bug again, which is me watching as many Western films as possible. So I've been watching Hostels, I've been watching Bone Tomahawk, Unforgiven, a few dollars too much. No, a fistful of dollars. The Good, the Bad, and Ugly. I was about to go and start and watch The Old Man, which I know is a little bit more modern Western in regards to being a modern Western, but with Jeff Bridges. I've been watching Western films again. Like I want to rewatch The Hateful Eight and Django Unchained again, just to fully finish the pantheon, in my opinion, in regards to Western films. So yeah, I would love to play a cowboy game again, a good cowboy game. And something tells me that I think that the next good cowboy game that I will be playing is going to be one of the VR games, because there are a couple of VR games right now that are trying to put themselves in a Western setting, and it seems rather nice to play those. It really does. I just want to hold two revolvers and just go banging. Also, nice eagle. Pretty pistol. I know that I don't have to worry about the background music for this one, because I know that this is from the Red Dead Redemption games. Because I've specifically made a playlist of music for when I was playing Red Dead Online, which had a bunch of Western music, and this was one of those. Yep, nice long stretches of land. And there's our boy. Our zombie boy. Damn. Again, this looks great. Like how detailed the material looks, as well as the leather, the cracks in the leather. It's beautiful to observe. This is a really nice visual. Like playing Red Dead Online, on one hand, I love doing it. On the other hand, I hated playing it, mostly because whenever it would be raining and storming like this, I would get tired as hell. Because I still have like thunderstorms or rain or anything in relation to that, like howling winds. I still have that as my ambience in case I need to fall asleep. Because I don't know, like it makes me cozy. It makes me want to roll up into a blanket and just go to sleep. Especially thunder. Thunder is a great way of making me sleepy. It should be said though, like the Red Dead Redemption games, Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2, those aren't ugly games. Like, they're already very graphically nice looking games. But this is just like, it's just that tiny little bit more polish that it will be a nice addition. That, and of course, Red Dead Redemption still needs its remake. Like, we already have Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC. We don't have Red Dead Redemption 1 on PC. So a remake in the Unreal Engine Yep. Really want to play a cowboy game again. Really want to play a cowboy game again.